Okay, now
Right, and how do I unhost me? How do I dehost me?
Pierke
make
Avos.
make Lou the host. It says make host.
With
Make Rabbi the host.
Oh, you can make me the host. Yeah, you have to go back to that blue box.
Yeah.
Go back to that blue box.
Yeah, I've got that already. It just says make host. So
Whose picture are you pressing on there?
Lou?
Good press on that. Make host. So you'll be the host.
All right.
Yes. Okay.
No, you did it, Roy.
You should be able to share the screen now.
Okay. Okay. Wow, it does work better than smoke signals.
Oh, goodness me.
A
Spend
little-
most of the time setting up.
Okay. Yes. Okay. It also works in on windy days. Okay. Let's start again from Elliot, do you mind? Let's start again from the seventh paragraph. So since we're all here now, we begin together again.
I'm happy to let Lou read. Lou loves to read.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's nice of you. All right, so back.
Yes, actually, go to paragraph number 6.
Okay. Arba midos bid bidaos nuach le chaus venuach lertzos yatsa shekaru behar.
His reward.
Oh,
He
skaru.
loses his reward.
Behepsido kasha likaos ukasha lirtzos yatsa hafsidu biskaro kasha likos benuach lirtzos chasid nuach lechaus ukasha liratzos rasha. Okay. Four attitudes.
Oh, yeah, like these a little bit more than just attitudes. The previous Mr. was really talking with attitudes. Here's we're talking like personality types.
Okay. 4 personality types. Vidaos is with knowledge.
Well, Deus is actually his personality type. The Rambam mentions in his Yad HaZakah, the Mishnah Torah, all those things which have to do with midos. Midos are like characteristics of a person's personality. All the things he has to do with all the midos that the Rambam discusses are what he calls Hilchos Deos. So the Meforshim ask why is it called Deos? Deos, as you said, Lou, are usually considered to be knowledge. Deos is knowledge, and the way the person thinks about things. So that's just the point. The way the person thinks about things are molded by his and directed by his personality. The type of personality the person has is going to affect his deos. So all the things which have to do with midos in the Rambam's Yad HaZakah are listed under the category of his deos. So you have 4 types of personalities.
Okay.
Excuse me.
And what is nuach? Spirit?
Noach means easily. Easily is easily angered.
Easily likaos, easy to anger. The noach the ratsos, and easy to appease.
Yeah, very good. To appease, very good.
Yatsa scharo. He receives reward.
Well, Yatsi Scharo, he loses his reward. They have said with his loss. Meaning, on one hand, he has a good midah that you can appease him easily, but since he's easily angered, right? It's a loss for him because he's so easily angered. You have some people that they get angry at the very slightest thing,
Right.
but then the slightest thing will anger them. And then they'll forget about it. Like, they won't even realize you talked to them 20 minutes ago. They say, "What do you mean? I wasn't angry. What was I angry about?" They don't even realize. They don't hold a grudge. They don't think about. It's like that. So even though they're they're not harboring the anger in their heart, and they're not makpid about whatever they were angry about. So that's on one hand very good. The way a person should be. But the fact that they're getting angered so easily, that's a big loss for them. And whatever they benefit from in not being hard to appease, they lose the benefit and the reward in that because they're so easily angered.
I see. Okay.
You probably met people like that from time to time.
Kasher lekas v'kasher liratsos. He's difficult to make angry and difficult to appease. Yatsa hefsedo. He loses his loss. Bischaro with his reward.
Right. Here's the opposite. Since he's very difficult to get angry, so very rarely is the person going to be angered, right? And on the other hand, he's going to be difficult to appease. So here it's the opposite. He's Yotzi have Sado Skaro, his deficit, the deficit which he has because of his difficulty in being appeased is lost in his asset, like in his asset, in his reward of being easily easily appeased, not easily angered. Okay. We'll see more about these. We'll see we'll see how the Maharal explains these interactions of these various different approaches and personality.
Okay. Kasher lekas v'nuach liratsos. So he's difficult to anger, but he's easy to appease. Chassid. He's a righteous person. Nuach lekas ukasha liros rasha. He's easy to anger and difficult to appease. He's a wicked person.
Right. So I just left off with this when Eliezer read the first part of time. So it's interesting to me that the fact is, with a person's kasher lakas with noach l'rotzos, it's difficult to get angry, but it's easy, and it's easy in the same token to get him to appease him. He's considered a chassid. Now, a chassid is usually understood to be on a higher grade than a tzaddik, right? So I'm just wondering why the choice of words here is it's chassid instead of tzaddik. So we have to try and think about that as we go through the Meforshim and see if we get any answer to that particular question. And then the last point was he's Noach Lakas, he's easily angered, Kasher L'Ratzus, and it's difficult to appease him. That's a Russia. Okay, let's see paragraph number 7.
Arba midos kule. 4 personality types, etc. Nismacha ha Mishnah hazos. What's nismacha?
Nismach literally means it's adjacent. I mean, it was adjacent. This Mishnah was placed adjacent to the previous Mishnah, right? The previous Mishnah we were learning was, you have Arba in the Arba. Let's see, what was the Lashon of the Mishnah previously? We had that was to Arba. Second.
Directed.
Yeah. Let me just.
Upper midos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Arbor midos, right? 4 midos. Midos. We're understanding that the 4 attitudes, and that was 4 attitudes. Here you have 4 personalities, right? So we're talking about 4 midos previously. Now we're talking about 4 personalities. Okay. So why was this Mishnah placed in conjunction with that other Mishnah?
So that Mishnah was the one where it said shalcha, etc.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. Lomar, he owed Matzinu midos sheyesh mehem tovos. So that's that. Furthermore, there are we find attitudes that are good. V'yesh mehem raos, and some that are not good. V'yesh mimotsos. What is mimotsos?
That means that they're middle. They're like Beinani. They're in the middle. Mimutsa is like to be like middle of the road.
Okay, so we find that there are some that are good, some that are bad, and some that are in between.
Right.
It's like the 3 bears.
3 bears?
Yeah, the mother bear, the father bear, and the baby bear.
Okay. All right.
Remember that nursery rhyme?
Sort of. I don't know. Someone's could
This
be.
bed's too big, this bed's too small, this one's just right.
Okay. Very good.
Kamo shamar be Mishnah shelafne zeh.
Shilefnezes. That meaning it's similar to the Mishnah that was before this. So this Mishnah in structure, it's similar to the Mishnah that it came previous to this. So therefore, it was appropriate to place it in conjunction with that previous Mishnah that also had categories that were good, categories that were bad, and also middle categories.
V'yesh lish'ol ma inyan chasidus etzo asher hu kasher lekas v'nuach l'ratzos. And there it's appropriate to ask, what is this subject, or what is this matter of the chasidus, the righteousness, about one that is difficult to anger and easy to appease. V'chein lama nikra rasha ka'asher hu nuach lekas v'kasha liratzos. And similarly, why do we call a Rasha? We call him a Rasha when he is easy to anger and difficult to appease.
Right. So those are two. There'll be some more basic questions, right? So first basic question is, as we mentioned, like why was chosen to call the person who's Noach Lerot, Kasha Lekas and Noach Lerot? So why is he referred to as a Chassid? Number one, I mean, he could have been called a tzaddik, something else. And why is the one who's the opposite, who's Noach Lekas and Kasha Lerotsos, why is he called a Rasha? Okay, those two questions have to be addressed. Va'od in the paragraph number 8.
Va'od Asher Lama Lo Amar Nuach Lekas V'Nuach Liratzos. And furthermore, it's difficult. Why we don't call the one who is easy to anger and easy to appease? Zehu mida beinenis. This is a middle characteristic.
I mean, if you noticed, right, the type that was Noach Lekas Noach the Rotzos, right? Noach Lekas Noach the Rotzos Yotzi Schar Behefsedo, right? It was given a type of empirical, sort of an empirical type of categorization. Yotzi Schar Behefsedo. Right, so why isn't he just simply referred to as Bainanis? Right? We understand the question.
You mean instead of saying Bainanis, it says Yotzi Scharo?
Yeah, it says right. The person Noach Lekas Noach Lerotzos Yotzi Schar Behefsedo. The morale is asking why we didn't just simply refer to him as being a Bainani.
Yeah, I understand.
Right. If the opposites, meaning if the chassid and the Russia are the extremes, right? The extreme good and the extreme bad, then someone's who's in the middle, Noach Lekas, with Noach Lerotzos, why isn't he simply referred to as a Bainani rather than giving some type of more like an empirical type of a explanation that it's Yotzi Schar Behefsedo?
Got it.
Okay.
Kamo Shamar Lamala Ka'asher Tzad Echad L'Tova L'Tzad Echad the Ra. Like we said above, that there is a side, one side for good and one side for bad.
Right. Meaning, I think he's Lamala. I think he's referring to the Mishnah previously, right? The meaning, we had midos for Adam, right? So we had that was referenced to as being Bainani, right? Rather than being, he didn't give this explanation. Yotzi Schar Behefsedo. Gave a different type of an explanation.
Right.
I guess he doesn't seem to ask, but I guess you could ask about the other one as well. I mean, Kasha Lerotzos, right? Yotzis hefsed b'scharo. I guess he could be considered a Beinoni as well, no?
Right.
Yeah.
Those, both of us have the in-betweens. We have the extreme,
Right.
we have the in-betweens.
Right, so I guess that it doesn't, although he doesn't state it, but apparently the question could be the same as well. Okay.
Vida lecha ki timtza sheyesh b'nei adam kashim b'teva umipnei hakushi shelahem einam nuchim lekas ve'enam nuchim leratzos mipnei koshayim. Vida lecha, and it's known to you.
That you should know. You should know.
You should know. Since we find that there are people that are what's kashim?
They are difficult. Person kashim is difficult.
They have difficult natures.
Yeah. They're people who are they're just difficult by nature. Kashim teva.
And before or in front of what is hakushi?
Well, because of their difficultness, meaning again the difficultness can be applied in a good sense or a bad sense, meaning it depends. Is it as the Mishnah said, are they kosher lekos? Are they difficult to get angry? In that case, if he's difficult to get angry, that's a good thing. But if it's kosher leratzos, if it's difficult to appease him, right? Then that's a bad thing. So being kashim, so difficult, meaning it depends how you apply the difficultness. Is it difficult for a good thing, difficult for a bad thing?
Okay. But I still don't know what this word hakushi is.
It's the same source. Umipnei kushi shelahem ena nochim lekas, because of their let's put kushi is like it's difficult, but here it's like kushi, it's their rigidness, like they're rigid, right? They're rigid because of their rigidness, right? Meaning they're rigid, meaning kushim means kushim is something that's hard, right? So it's rigid, right? So now that can be applied in good aspects and in bad aspects. If they're rigid, right? So when it comes to getting angry, since they're rigid, so they're not interested in being swayed into to anger so quickly. They're rigid. They know what they feel. They know what they have in mind, and they're not going to change their moods at every whim that's in every situation that comes up and develops, right? So if it's in terms of getting angry, their rigidness is very good, because their rigidness is going to preserve their status quo and in the face of things which could get them frustrated, disappointed, and angry, right? But if it's in terms of appeasing them, right? If they once they've gotten into a mood of frustration, disappointment, or anger, to get them out of it, so their rigidness, their basic nature of being rigid, is going to be to their detriment, right?
So the rigidity leads to the fact that it's difficult to make them angry and difficult to make them appeased.
Exactly. It's something which is like a meta midah, a meta characteristic. It's not something which is subject to other things. It's something which, as the morale is explaining, something which is developed in the personality as a general. It's a global personality trait.
Right. It's
Something
overriding
global. Right, something global, exactly, right.
V'yesh b'nei adam shehem rakim b'teva b'chol v'hem nochim l'kas v'nochim l'ratzon. And there are people that they are
Rahim literally means they're soft. But it would be more like, in this context, more like pliable, but there's a better word I'm looking for than pliable. They're easily influenced. What's a good word for that? That the person's, what do we say, a person easily influenced? He's maybe spurious.
Swayed.
Excuse me?
Easily swayed.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear again. Please say again.
Swayed, easily swayed.
Swayed, right? He's easily swayed, right? So that's he's rach, meaning there's a chazal. Chazal say the olim rak. He should be rach kikana. He should be soft, but like a reed. What is it supposed to mean? He should be soft like a reed. A reed is in the winds. It's very it sways with the wind. It's not rigid, right?
Right.
So it's so here in this case we say person's rak kakani, rak like he's rak, he's soft, or he's easily swayed like a kana, like the reed. The reed is on one hand it's very good. The reed, it says there's a I forgot if there's a Gemara, it's definitely Chazal. Chazal said in the Sugus that the reed is easily swayed. It's meaning it's flexible. Meaning in this context of this Chazal, it's talking that the reed is flexible. Since it was flexible, it was used to be chosen to write Sifrei Torah, mezuzahs, and tefillin. And it was given that mitzvah. It's a mitzvah min hudar to use a reed from as the quill, right? Because the Kadosh Baruch Hu, so to speak, rewarding it for its nature of being easygoing and going with the flow, swaying with the wind. On the other hand, if it's going to be a global personality that they easily swayed, right? If they're easily swayed, so that's going to be a detriment to them in certain circumstances and beneficial to them in other circumstances. Because again, it's a global personality trait.
Right. So that they're easily angered and easily appeased.
Right, exactly.
It's easy to get them to change.
Yep, that's right. So on one hand, it's good that if they do get in a mood, you can get them out of their mood easily. On the other hand, if they can get into a bad mood as well very easily.
And they're somewhat unpredictable, I would think.
Yeah, that's also true. Yeah, that's also true. Until you get to know them well enough and you can predict their unpredictability.
Klal ha davar o shehu chashev b'chol o shehu recha b'chol. The general rule is that he's either difficult in everything, or what is this? Recha?
Rocha is from also soft, Rach, from the same source as Rach.
So
Racha.
it's either he's difficult in all matters, or he's easygoing in all matters.
Right.
Ve'ein hateva notein sheyeh nuach lekas ve'yeh kasher l'ratzos. And it's not his nature to give, that he is easy to anger and difficult to appease. Sheyeh bo mean shtei hamidos shezeh eno, that it is in this from two characteristics that this is not.
So again, he says the klal shodav, the general rule is o shu kasher b'kol or rach b'kol. So the general rule is he's either going to be a rigid type of a person globally, or he's going to be a pliable person globally in his personality. Ve'ein teva no saying shia noach lekas vehi kasher l'ratzos. It's not that his teva is given to him that he's easily angered and it's difficult for him to be appeased, right? Shia bo min shtei hamidos shezeh eno, that it should be that these are two separate characteristics. No, that's not true. Zeh eno, that's not it. That's not it. It's not that it's two separate things. He's noach lekas, he's easily angered, and he's difficult to appease. That there's two separate midos. That's not the point here. That's not the way it works over here. Therefore it says,
She'im hu nuach lekas v'nuach l'ratzos yatsa hefsido. Therefore, it says if he is easy to anger and easy to appease, he loses his deficit. Ma shehu nuach lekas, that which he is easy to anger, bischaro, with his reward. He loses his deficit in that he's easy to anger from his reward. Klomar, he ma shehu rich shehu rach v'nuach be'emtzo mi vei lo haschar v'hahefsid sheyesh lo. That he's easy to anger from his reward. Klomar, that is to say, because he is flexible and easy in the middle, No, easy with himself. What does this me bay?
Right, so okay, so it means kolomer ki ma shurach v'noach ba'atzmo, because it means that which is that he's rach, pliable v'noach, and easy ba'atzmo in himself. Maybe lo, this brings him skar behefsed lo. That brings him the reward and the loss, or the assets and the deficits. I might start using the, instead of reward and loss, it might be like the assets, like as an asset, and has a hefsed, like a deficit that he has in him. I'll tell you, we'll have to. I'm going to go over these last 1 or 2 paragraphs tomorrow again, and we'll clarify exactly what the morale is teaching us, and then we'll hopefully get to see his the wisdom that he's opening up for us in this Mishnah. In the meantime, let's maybe take a break for today, and we'll pick it up again tomorrow, Mitzvah Shem.
Okay, I was thinking
Yeah.
that the grouping about one who's angered easily, that's sort of A, B, C, and D. So B and C go together, but A and D go together as well. So you could group it as one who is angered is A, and the last one who is angered easily is the last one. And one of them is to pacified easily, and the other one hard to pacify. So those two go together, but they're separated by the middle ones also go together in a similar way. It's hard to anger. Both of them is hard to anger, but one is easily pacified and one is not. So you could put sort of A and D together. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like it's the emphasis of the particular characteristic which is being I guess being accentuated. Yeah, we'll hold on to that thought. We'll discuss it. We'll try and analyze the Mishnah like that again tomorrow, Mitzvah Shem.
All right, then. Thank you very, very much.
Okay, very good, Roy. Thank you. Have a good afternoon. Hope to see you
Thank
tomorrow.
you.
And we'll take a short break and we'll be continuing.